Congressman, what is the plan for the Department of Education? We have heard so much, and obviously she's here, she's getting to know Oklahoma's education system, but what is the actual plan?
Yeah, I think when you look at the Department of Education since it's been stood up in 1981 when it was first funded, and look how we have fallen in the world standings in education, we can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That's the pure definition of insanity. So, you know, when you look at Secretary Mann, what she's doing is she's going to right-size the size of the Education Department. It takes Congress is the only one that can actually eliminate an agency or a department, and so, you know, that's a long ways off. We've not been asked to do that. She's going to make sure that the Department of Education is getting back in the business of educating children across America. And that's what she's going across America to do, is seeing the great education work that's going on around the world, specifically here in Oklahoma City earlier today, Tulsa now. And, you know, nothing short of what has been an outstanding visit today in Broken Arrow. And she's going to take these best bets back to Washington, D.C. and see how we can push education back to the communities where it should be.
Because that has been the narrative, is she's here to end it all. She's the last education secretary, but obviously she's here, she's working, she's
Well, my guess is those are the comments coming from those who want to keep the status quo. And if you talk to parents, you talk to kids, they're tired of the status quo. You've seen today in her visit, very excited individual students. They're excited about being here in Broken Arrow at Vanguard Academy. You're seeing teachers that are telling me as I walk away, I love teaching these children. So that's what you want. You want your teachers to love the job of educating children. Schools have to get back into educating children across America. We're doing a great job here in places. In spite of what you're seeing in the rankings, there are great examples of what it's supposed to look like. And what Superintendent Perry's doing here with Broken Arrow and his staff is really unbelievable.
I was going to say, that ranking really stings. The 50th or, you know, wherever we are, we've always been less than 45 or more. That rating stings.
What do we do about
it does. I mean, you're only as good, having been in business for 35 years, you're only as good as the people around you. Our state needs to be better at educating our workforce. We've got to put educating our children first. When you look at what's happened in Mississippi, which forever was the butt of all jokes, thank God for Mississippi, or we'd be, you know, 49th or 50th. And what they've done over the last decade is truly amazing. What the governor's done there, what the secretaries of education in Mississippi have done of moving from dead last to 13 or 14 in fourth grade reading, going back to the basics. I was talking to Superintendent Perry about that, who's been in education his entire life. We need to get back to the basics of educating our children to be successful in the workforce and therefore the world.
The common narrative is the Republican Party's trying to kill off public schools. She just toured a public school. I'm a bit confused, just basically because of the narratives that are out there. What do you say?
Well, I went to public school. I went to public schools. My daughter went to public schools, and the reality is that public schools are different today than they were some 20, 30, 40 years ago, and we need not let them slip away because we already pay taxes for that, right? We shouldn't have to send our children to private school for a good education. And you're seeing a great example again here in Broken Arrow Schools, the largest high school in the state. Probably top 10 in the nation. So they are very big but very nimble to make sure that they can cater to the needs, to the specific education requirements for those that are here so they can have a successful career coming out of high school should they choose to take a career path, which is going to be sorely needed. We need the workforce developed to go to the Tulsa Techs, to go do the things that make a lot of difference in Oklahoma and around the world. Or if they want to go to one of our four-year schools, University of Tulsa, Oklahoma State University, OU, do that, go elsewhere. But let's get our folks the basic fundamental skills to provide for themselves and not have to depend on the government going forward.
I'm very concerned about how my generation was told to work smart, not hard. I can't find somebody to fix my toilet anymore. They're all retiring. Did we make a mistake with my generation telling them that? Because, I mean, obviously everyone wants to go to college and get that fancy degree, but we need people fixing toilets and doing wiring and stuff. I'm worried about
Yeah, I mean, when I grew up, it was hauling hay, cutting firewood, doing the things that you didn't go to college for. I was the first one to graduate high school in my family, the first one to graduate college, to get an MBA and so forth and so on. Education does make a difference, but you have to work hard along the way as well. And to your point about cleaning toilets or fixing toilets, when your HVAC doesn't work, you can't do that with AI. You can't order that on Amazon. These are going to be trades that are going to be here for a long time. We've got guys and gals that are coming out of trade schools here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, making $70,000, $80,000 a year with no debt. No debt. They have a basic skill. If they want to move up in a company 3 or 4 years from now, they can go to school, they can go to college. They'll go pretty much debt-free because they can pay their way through school. It's a fundamentally different way of thinking about it. I worked my way through college because I had a fundamental skill that I learned at a career tech in high school. And so we need to change America. President Trump's going to change America. That's his narrative. And many countries around the world already do what we're describing. But we have lost a generation there that we said, as you described, work smart, not hard. And I think we're getting back to working hard again, and hard work is never going to hurt anyone.